phone makes you look funny. Like, Patrick did the same thing, but it makes you look really long if you don't come close. Oh, action.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is March 3rd.
I know.
Can you believe that?
No.
Where did February go?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was crazy. But anyway, welcome. Excited to be here today. It is the first Tuesday in March, which means we have KimberBell, DDE, and Christine is going to present to you today. Actually, a couple of different blocks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be exciting. We do have a busy 10 days coming up here at the store. So let's see if I can remember everything. Tomorrow morning, I will be teaching my Zoom Serger project, and that is the Interweave Quilt by Amanda Murphy, and that is via Zoom. The invites should have already gone out on that for you. So those went out a couple of hours ago, I believe. Friday, super busy day. In the morning, Matt and Amanda will be presenting Bernina Club. So Bernina Club is virtual from 10 to noon or thereabout. And that is going to be on Friday. Friday afternoon, long awaited. We had lots of conflicts in the month of February, but we are having a comment sold sale on Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. So during our usual Facebook Live time, we will be doing our comment sold sale for you all. We've got some brand new fabric in, some new products, new KimberBell stuff. So we're pretty excited about that. Let's see, that's on Friday. And then next week on Friday and...
Yes.
Is it Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, one here and then one in Littleton. Yes.
I started to second guess myself whether it was Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday. So Friday, Saturday next week, we have Adam from Bernina. He is an educator from Bernina coming in to do two wonderful seminars. One seminar in the morning at each store. So here on the Friday at the Thornton store and in our Littleton store on the Saturday. I think we only have 2 spaces at the Thornton store, and I believe we have 4 spaces at our Littleton store. And that will be hands-on on the sit-down Q16s, Q20s. So that is the sit-down hand quilting. So even if you don't own a Q16 or a Q20, you will learn how to do free motion quilting on your sewing machines. So you will be stitching on a Bernina, but a lot of what you're going to learn would be applicable to whatever machine you do your sit-down quilting on. The afternoon seminar so the morning seminar is a $40 class fee, but that does include your kits that you will be stitching on. The afternoon seminar is just $15, and he's going to be talking about everything quilting. So long arm quilting, free motion quilting, anything to do with a frame setup or any type of free motion quilting. So that is going to be a great seminar, and that is on Friday at the Thornton store. I think it's 1 to 4, and then on the Saturday at our Littleton store. And that is the upcoming events for the next 10 days, which is a lot.
You did it.
Yes, I did it. Okay, and I think with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Christine, and she is going to take you through this month's DDE, the Mistletoe quilt.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. All right. So for the month of March for DDE, I need to take my phone case off of my phone. So bear with me for 2 seconds because I have to put it on our little dibby-dabby thingy here. All right, there we are. So here is our block for the month of March. We have some colored vinyl to make it look like the candle is melting, so kind of look waxy. We have some felt, and we are also using some gold mylar. So this block does also have some pearls that are going to go down on the bottom, and I will put those on after we're all done. But I have just been using these little like double-sided sticky glue things to put them on there to kind of finish them, so I actually remember to do that part. But this is the March block. Today we are also, if you look in the very back of your, so here is my March directions. On the last page, we have 3 filler blocks. So I realized that the first block for January, I didn't do the filler blocks with you guys. And then Cindy did show you the filler blocks for February, but we haven't actually stitched any out. So if you look today, there's block 17, 19, and 20. 2 of these blocks use the same design, so I am just going to show you how I kind of do these. And you're essentially going to do them all the same. Some of them you'll piece together before. These ones are just standalone, but we are going to stitch a couple of those out today as well. Okay, so getting started, we are... I don't remember having any issues doing this block. I did do this block a couple weeks ago, so I don't remember there being any issues though. So I'm not sure. All right, so on our first page, we have what we're making, all your fabrics you're going to need, and all of your thread. So I'm going to grab my threads out. That we're using, and I am using all of the Isacord threads. So I will give those numbers, but those are what I'm using. Okay. And then looking down at the bottom here, we are going to bring in the background quilting because we are doing that. We're going to bring in winter 10, and then we're going to put our embroidery on top of it. Marlene, I will look into that for you for the March. Make sure you get that. I'm happy you are stitching with us, Patty. So we did have 2 different thread kits. We had a Floriani thread kit and an Isacord thread kit. I did put both of them up for today's, products. So we still are able to make those for you. I have already put my designs on top of each other. So I've already done my quilting, brought in my quilting, brought in my design, and I just saved it. So it kind of just saves me a little bit of time once we put it together. All right. So I have already brought in, so we're going to do our first stitch directly on top of our stabilizer. I like to use Floriani Power Mesh. I think it's just my favorite mesh. So that's what I have in my hoop. If you're using Baby Lock or you're using KimberBell, I honestly just think at that point it's just a preference. And I just love the Power Mesh. All right. Because it's a little bit heavier, but not too heavy. And then I have my background fabric. And I have fusible backing on there. And I also have fusible backing on my applique fabric. And then we'll be using the felt. So we're going to do our first stitch directly on top of our stabilizer. And the background quilting for this, they call for white. So I'm going to go ahead and just put white on there. I do have a couple manager specials for you today. And then... That tells me that she's already been taken care of. I don't know. Can you... Okay.
had a huge bag, so maybe.
Okay, so the first stitch is going to go directly on top of our stabilizer, and that is going to give us a placement stitch for our batting.
Put it in Susie's stuff, but didn't
All right, so then we're going to put our batting down, and our next stitch is going to tack our batting down. Where are my scissors? Oh boy. Okay. Here we are. All right. Now we are going to, so I am using a 6x10 hoop. You could use a 5x7 for this, this month for this block. Honestly, the 6x10 hoop was on the cutting table and I just hooped it up with some stabilizer. But you can use the 5x7. If you wanted to do both designs in one hooping, you could probably use a bigger hoop and bring them both in at the same time too. Where did... Okay. All right. So then the next stitch is going to give us a placement stitch for our background fabric. So we are going to go ahead and stitch that out.
Why does it look like that? I don't know. Or you I know.
All right. And then we're going to place our background fabric down. And we are going to tack that in place. Okay, and then it's going to go directly into our background quilting. So I am just going to continue on, and it's going to do the quilting in white. making the March block from the KimberBell Mistletoe Mystery. So this is the block for this month. It is pretty cute. So it uses some of their candy, vinyl, felt, and some mylar.
Okay, and we need to label it as a used machine. Is it used?
Okay. So then I got two photos that I gave.
Okay, so then you have two yellow, so a Dijon or Desert Sunset. So these are, I'm using 0721 and 0824. So we're going to use the lighter floor model. For the first one. And that is going to give us a placement stitch for our mylar. So we're going to do that. And we're going to get our little mylar piece out. And so we're going to use the gold side of the mylar. Okay, we're going to place our mylar down, and it is going to do our decorative stitching right over top of it. I'm just going to hold it in place. I'm not going to tape it. It's not very big or crazy. I just kind of hold it down. Okay, and then the mylar should just kind of tear away. It punctures it enough with the stitching that you shouldn't have to use scissors. So you just kind of peel that all away. And then it is going to do we're going to put on the darker yellow for the flame inside of the Mylar. Okay, and we're gonna do the center flame. All right, and then we're gonna change it to the starlight or charcoal color for the flame color or the wick color. All right.
Christmas and Easter, that's what Don does.
Hi, Renee. All right, so now we're gonna put the lighter pink color on, and it is gonna do a placement stitch for our candle. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think. So it is the, hello Nora, blush. So it's a really light pink, and we're gonna do the placement stitch for our candle piece. Okay, and then we are going to place our candle fabric right side up inside of our placement stitch. We have the fusible backing on that back side. So we're gonna place this down, and we're gonna tack it down. Hello, Marge. It is a cute block. When I saw the picture of it on the directions, I didn't really love it. But when it's stitched out, I like it a little bit. I like it better. So Renee, the designs for the home sewn have come out. So the volume 1 has come out, and we did kits for the March one. So we will be stitching those out on a live shortly. April?
The first one is April.
Oh, the first one is April, not March. It's April showers. So we'll stitch them out in April.
We're going to stitch them out 1 month in advance.
Okay, so we are going to stitch out the tile home sewn 1 month in advance. So the first one that comes out in volume 1 is for the month of April. So we will be doing it shortly. Any day. Any day now. All right, so we're gonna trim our candle fabric up to our stitches all the way around. And this next stitch out is a little bit of a longer one. So I'm gonna do a couple manager specials while that is going. So we're gonna leave the light pink on, and it is going to stitch the candle stripes. Okay. I can go for over here. All right. Okay, so a while back, we did the KimberBell Classic Volume 3, and it is this originally. So it is the Oh Happy Day. So it comes with these 3 designs. So it comes with the bag, it comes with the cupcake, and the going to grandma's. And I had just made it into like a Halloween theme. This bag comes in like 5 or 6 different sizes. I believe this embroidery comes in 2 sizes, and this came in 2 sizes. So we are doing the CD for this manager special, so Classic 3. It is normally $19.98, and we are doing it for $15. So Classic 3. And then I do have a couple kits that I found for these projects. So it has all of the fabrics and zippers and everything. So they were originally $49.99. We're doing them for $25. So that is going to be a classic kit. So I have Classic 3 for the designs and Classic Kit for the kits for all of them. So super cute. Did like a little trick-or-treat bag, the pillow, and the zipper pouches. All right, so the design is going to go to Kathy Baisley. All right. And then if you want the kits to go with them, it is Classic Kit. Bonnie DeLay. Congratulations, and Kathy Baisley. All right. So also I wanted to talk about the Just Add Butter event that we had just done. We still have a couple extra event kits left, and so if you are interested in doing the event, so obviously you wouldn't be able to join the event live, but we can send you the recording. Or if you took the event and you want to do another set, but we do have a few of those left. I did put them online so you can purchase them if you're interested. So here is, it comes with everything. So you get the clock blank, all the fabrics to do the clock. You get the cinch sack blank and the design to put on there. And you also get the apron and all of the stuff to put the apron together. All your fabrics, vinyl, buttons, and everything. So they are $109. And then if you do purchase that, we will send you the recording for the class if you didn't already take the class and you need the recording for the class, because we did it on Zoom. So I just wanted to let you guys know we had a couple of those left if you are interested. So it was $109. All right. And then I was going to walk you over and just show you the blocks and things that we have completed for DDE. So we have our promo block, which is the ornament. So we have 2 of those. We have our January block, which is the tree with the gems and the ribbon. So I haven't sewn my ribbon on like I was talking about earlier. I have used these little they're like crafting double-sided glue tape things, only because I like to show it like how it's going to look, but I won't actually stitch or hot glue or anything those on until I put the quilt together. So here's our second January block. And this is the super cute block that Cindy did last month for February. So again, I haven't actually put this on. It's just stuck up there to kind of give you the full effect. And then, so there, I thought I need to look back. And then here are the filler blocks. I believe these ones for February. I might not have put mine up here yet for January. I need to look at that. And then we will put this one up here for March, which is going to go down here. Okay. Super fun. And right here like that. All right. So that is what we have completed so far. It is cute. Okay, I was gonna look at January. Maybe I forgot to do it. What the heck? Oh. I did do them. I think they're on my desk. So January has 3 blocks for the filler blocks as well. Renee, they don't email you the pattern for the houses. The houses are a design pack that you purchase, and then you put the code into your account, and you get the designs put onto your KimberBell account from the code of the design pack that you purchase. So there's a volume 1 that is available right now. And it just comes, like in their cardboard little piece that you'll put the code into your account. Renee, I will have to look into it for you because you should have gotten it. We've gotten those in, so let me look into that for you. Hello.
How are you?
Good.
What are we making?
DDE.
Yep. Candle.
A candle.
That's really cute.
Okay, and then I'm going to change it to red to do the candle outline satin stitching.
Here, Christine.
Good.
It is so cute. I love the wax on the top.
Is there a supply list for your surgery class?
It's on mine.
Renee, if you go to the events tab for tomorrow's date, there is a click a link for Kate's class that you can download the supply list. And there is pre-class cutting. You're welcome. Okay, so now we're going to put that light pink color thread back on, and we are going to do the placement stitch for our the wax jelly vinyl. So that is in your little so that is this little guy here. So we're going to do our placement stitch. Nancy, I did do the Me Without You. I did it as a in-person class. I did it as a 2-part class. And both of those have already gone by. All right, so we are going to put that vinyl down, covering up our placement stitch, and we are going to tack it down. Okay, so then you're going to trim the jelly vinyl close to the stitch line. I'm sorry, Nancy. I don't know that I would, it's really, to be honest with you, kind of just a repetitive thing, because you just stitch out the little girls and the sayings, and then you just have filler blocks and put it together. So that's why I chose to do it in person. But
all right, why don't you finish up that little section and I'll grab some fabric and
all right, so we're just trimming our jelly all the way up to our stitches here. I do have a kit, and I actually, or I think I have one more kit left over. I do. So it's the same colors that I use, kind of those purples and color batiks. And then if you have any questions, you can let me know. I would be happy to help. Hey, Kate. Kate. Let me find out about instructions for mystery.
Hi, Marcia. This is Bill.
I do believe we are able to make kits for this mystery. Still, yes. Oh, wait. You're talking about Mistletoe mystery. So I am able to make them. I am waiting on some fabrics to come in. And it's been kind of a difficult thing to get in, because I'm sure we're not the only dealers obviously participating and doing kits for them. So yes, I am able to make them. It's just taking me a little bit longer than I want it to.
And the other thing is Patrick had told me you guys had to use the shape designer in Bernina in Guelph. Okay. I just want to find out, you know, if you use
They
like
don't
rubber designer.
technically call for oil there, but
Okay, so I've trimmed that. I'm leaving the light pink thread on top, and we are going to do the decorative stitch around the melted wax. Nancy, yes, I can do that for you. So Annette, it looks like they are on the website. I would just have to, I don't know the for sure date. Kiki, do you know when you did Mystery Part 2? Was last Friday? Well, we were at the run. Yes? Okay, so Annette, it looks like, oh, thank you, Tammy. She did it last Friday. Can you come here? Look at these. Like, they're all, like, so many of them. Okay. Like, they're not saying anything, but, how much are the kits? For DDE, so we did it as a complete bundle. So you got the fabric, and the, designs and the embellishment kit for one price.
she has a question about
Okay. Okay. Yes, Renee, there is a pattern. It's called interweave. I could see what we could do to get you, help on that. And Donna, are you referring to Mystery 62 or what is it? 63?
I don't know. I've lost. Oh, it's raining again. $215.99
Okay.
on sale. I mean, that's the sale price.
Okay, so the fabric kit for this, it's not just the fabric kit. It's going to be the embellishment kit, the fabric kit, and the designs is on sale for $215. All right, so I put our dark green thread on. Okay, Donna, I will, Mystery 62. That's the one she's currently on, correct? Yeah, so if you do the bundle for the DDE Mistletoe Mystery, it's going to come with the designs, well, the designs you get from your KimberBell account each month. So they submit them to your account the first of every month. So we enroll you and then you'll get the designs from your KimberBell website or KimberBell account. And so you'll get the embellishment kit, the fabric, and the designs for the $215. You're welcome, Donna. All right, so we've done our placement stitch for our leaves. We are going to tack down our leaves. So we're going to put our felt down and we are going to tack that down. Okay, and then on the felt, I always just leave like a little bit of a seam from my stitch here. So I don't cut it right directly up to that stitch line. All right, so I'm going to trim those. I really wish I had my snips. The snips. Yolanda, I will write you down so I can get you the embellishment kit and then get you signed up for the designs. And so you'll get the promo design, you'll get January, February, and March. And then we'll just owe you the fabric kit, unfortunately. Sorry. Okay, now we're gonna put our kind of goldy yellow color thread. So I did the darker one, same one we did as our flame, and we're gonna put that in, and it's gonna do the veins on our leaves. Yeah, so there is not necessarily like this design by itself. So you can only purchase these designs, and it's for a committed year of the mystery. So we do have a design pack only. So you'll just get the designs and no embellishment and no fabric. But not like you can't just purchase this month or January's month. You do have to purchase the entire year, unfortunately. So I just had Kate double check for me, and the directions for Mystery 62 for she did them on Friday of last week, and they are up there. She had only just done it this morning, so if you haven't looked since today, they are out there. It's growing on me too, Cherry. I would agree with you when I printed the instructions for February and I was like, oh my gosh, that block is so cute. And then I pulled up my blog for March and I was like, well, it's not as cute. But it is growing on me too. I will agree. Okay. So we are done with stitching out our block. And so what we're going to do is we are going to cut it right from our stabilizer. So I always just pull back and cut right up to my stitches while it's in the hoop because it gives it a little bit of stability. And you can kind of just ride right along that stitch line. And then we are going to do our filler blocks. And while those are stitching, I'm going to trim this block up with you with our orange pop ruler. Okay, so we got those 2 blocks done for March. Now we're going to do our orange pop rulers. No, we're not. We're going to do our filler blocks. So I'm going to go to my machine here. And I just saved it to my memory. So like I said, last page in the directions for your March block has your filler blocks. So I'm going to be doing the red and the tufted star. And the only reason is because I can bring them both in. They take the same design and the same color. So that is why I'm choosing to do it this way. You could put them all 3 in one hooping. You can do them all separate. Whatever you want to do, but you're going to bring in the winter 4x4 design. And I'm going to push set and I am going to copy and paste. And then I'm just going to center and move one down and move the other one up. I'm hoping I can put these in this size hoop. I might just be able to do one, but then at least you guys can see how they go. Awesome. Okay. So it is going to do all right. So I'm going to see if I can move this down just a hair. Okay. All right. So then what I'm going to do, I typically like to sew one block and then sew the other. And that's really only because what if these are closer than I think they are? I could tape that one back because it's done. If it's not at that step, then I won't be able to do that. So I typically leave it as doing one block, completing it, and then doing another one. But if you wanted to change that and you wanted to have them stitched exactly at the same time, if you click this button, you can watch my tab up top here. So now it'll do everything together. So it'll do the first block, second block, and then you'll do the next step for this first block, second block, so on. I'm going to keep mine the way it is because that's just a personal preference on how I'm going to do it. So the background quilting for the 2 that I'm doing is going to be the Laffy Taffy. So it is a little bit of a darker pink than the blush. So we're going to put our Laffy Taffy on, and you do these blocks the exact same way you do your background quilting. So we're not adding an embroidery on top of this. We're just doing the background quilting. Now, I will tell you, February's were a little different because you actually pieced those blocks, then did the embroidery. So you pieced them in the hoop, then you added the embroidery. So they are done a little bit different. But we are going to just do these ones, and I'll try not to forget to do the filler blocks. The last mystery didn't have the filler blocks, so I always forget. All right, so just like in our normal embroidery, we have our placement stitch, and that is going to be for your batting. And I do have fusible backing on these pieces. Not my backing, but my background fabric. So, or not my batting, sorry. All right, so we're going to place our piece of batting down. So I'm going to be doing the two red backgrounds. So these two, and they do both have the fusible backing on them, okay? Okay, so we're going to trim our batting completely up to our stitches. Okay, then you're going to do the placement stitch for your fabric.
Refunded because we couldn't get those.
Yes, I do too. Nancy, I agree. They're kind of fun to do. Okay, so then you're going to place your fabric just like that. And we are going to tack it down. And once it's tacked down, it's automatically going to go right into the quilting, and you're just going to do the background quilting right on top. Okay, and you are going to do the same thing for the this block, which is actually filler block 17. This one is filler block 20, and then the light green is filler block 19. But if you look at your directions, filler block 19, so is right here. It actually has a different quilting design, and you use the lighter blush color. Okay, but you're gonna repeat it the same exact way. All right. So I am going to take you up to the cutting table. We are going to use our rotating cutting mat and our orange pop ruler. All right, so at the bottom of the directions for today, we are going to use the 4.5 by 6.5 inch ruler. I would recommend, like always, using your rotating cutting mat because it makes it a lot easier to twist the mat than to twist your body. So we're going to lay our orange pop ruler directly on top of our block here. And you are going to cut, and I always just start like a normal rotary cutter and blade ruler. Okay, so I'm going to hold here. I have my blade. I start in the middle and I work my way back. Make sure I get all the way in there and then pull forward. And I just do that to all 4 sides. And I'm rotating the mat instead of rotating my project or my ruler. Okay. And then you just pull out and you have the correct size that you need for the block. So the other thing, when you do your background quilting and everything the way that KimberBell says, because the quilting or the quilting is always smaller, then you use your ruler to cut, your batting is now not in your seam or anything, and so your block is cut perfect for that 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing to our other block, and you are all set. On the filler block, you cut them to, they said on down here, on the last page here, you just cut them to a 4.5 by 4.5 inch square. All right, so then you'll have your 2 blocks for March done, and then you will have 3 filler blocks for March as well. All right. So we will see everyone tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to finish up this last filler block, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you, Linda. Stay warm, and we will see you guys tomorrow.